All right, we are live. A little bit late to the party, of course. Was a bit busy until now, but it's Walpurgis time. Indeed, it is Walpurgis time. Gamble. I love gambling. Download it. Okay, cool. I mean, I've got like 300 pulls, so I'm gonna get everything. Question is if I get lucky or if I get, well, not lucky. What are you hoping for? I mean, the hope is to get everything, right? Hopefully I get the... I really also want to be able to see if I can get the Chisette announcer naturally, because I'd like to be able to use the pity to get, like, the Lehang or Ricardo announcer or something. Something funny. We will see. I have the sound turned off. There we go. Cool. I haven't seen too much on the specifics of the IDs, but I assume a new module. We'll see how this goes. Right. Yeah, I'm doing fine on Lunacy and then pulls too. I guess I've got these. I could pop these for the bit. Honestly, might as well. It's not really too much of a need to stall for very long. Normally I start, I start the stream a little before the update comes out. This time, not so much. I do have some of these tickets spare, so I'm gonna pop one of these just because it would be really funny. And, like, there's rarely much of a use for me for these 3-star guaranteed ones elsewise. Wowie, it's a 3-star. It's Warped On. You know, I'll take that as a good omen. Warped On is who I've had as, like, my banner thing since release, basically, so, I see her as being good luck. Paid pull. Nothing from the paid pull, okay. Well, let's just get into it. See how lucky I get. Okay. Oh, something immediately? Angel announcer. That's unfortunate. Well, I got an announcer. I mean, it's like 100 thread. That's like 100 thread is like theoretically nice, but like I really don't need it. Okay. 20 pulls, nothing. We press on. 30 pulls, nothing. Okay. I say nothing. We technically did get one announcer. I should, like, factor that in there, even if it's not the one I wanted at all. Okay, 40 pulls. Couple Faust 2 stars. Ooh, here we go. Here's something. What am I gonna get? Oh, that's 2 somethings. Okay. Well, let's just see. What do I get? Ryoshu. There we go. There's one of the 3 stars. Oh! And there's the other 3-star. Okay, cool. All I need now is the ego, and then I'll be done. Which means I'm either going to be very lucky or very unlucky, because ego chances are funny. Cool. And that was 50 pulls. Okay. That's pretty good odds. Now I just need to hit... all I need to do is hit that 1.3% ego chance once, and I'm guaranteed to get it, since I have every other ego. So we can zoom through these a little bit. If I get an announcer along the way, that'll be hype. And if I don't, I'll live. Seems going a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit dry, as you know. I mean, it's like karma, right? I get really lucky, and then I get fairly unlucky with the next batch of pulls. Okay. Yeah, that's 100 pulls. So we're halfway to pity now. Just got hit a 1.3% chance. How hard could it be? If I need to use Ideality for Sinclair, so be it. Oh? I was gonna say two somethings. No, that's a 2-star. What's this? It's a Murdupe. Okay, that's fine. More Mer shards. I mean, I guess that means I can guarantee, that I can upgrade him immediately. How am I doing on Mer shards? I've got enough anyways. Oh well. It's something. Haven't got any, off-banner 3-stars. That's funny. Hit the 50% 3 times. Okay. Here's something. What's it gonna be? Magic. Well, there's an off banner. Definitely not an off banner I was expecting to see here. Somehow just magically managed to get Magic Bolt Otis. Sure. Oh? And here's another off banner. Kurokumo Ryoshu, huh? Sure. One of the ideas of all time, that's for sure. Okay, here's something. Sinclair? There we go. Very funny noises. That's for this ego looks like it'll be funny. I haven't looked at the specifics for any of the egos yet, but or any of the new stuff yet. Very nice. And I'm 50 away from Ideality. I might get Cheesehead. Might not. Would be funny. I'm honestly probably satisfied there, though. Yeah. 100 equals to get everything. Not bad. Got a couple dupes in there. Oh, I didn't assemble a team beforehand, did I? Forgot about that. Well, let's equip the relevant stuff. Yeah, we'll use you. Actually, I'll just throw in like a bunch of like LobCorp Wulp stuff. That's the wrong ego. Might as well. It's as good a team as any, I suppose. Do I have enough XP to level these guys up right now? I actually don't know if I do. Probably not, though. Oh well. What are the odds I struggle too much? I don't think I need to do like the hard one tonight or anything. I just need to do the normal, so levels don't matter for the normal, assuming it's following past trends and patterns. Okay, you go first. Since that's the one that doesn't have a story, we can just quickly thread spin it. And take a look at it. Just how good is Rhythm going to be? Because I know its entire gimmick is all about, stacking up the Rhythm status effect, which will give some degree of buffing, some degree of debuffing defensively. Let's see. So Rhythm is max 5, 2% for every stack, auto plus 1 for every stack, minus 1 for every stack. Okay, and it expires at turn end. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like, that means... Yeah, I guess this passive being 2 Rhythm, like, every turn just guaranteed, means that this, like, is... When you pop it, like, Sinclair will just get, like, a 4% damage buff plus 2 offense level up just for the rest of the fight, effectively. Which definitely isn't bad. It's not a full Clash power-up, but it's like 67% of a Clash power-up. So it's nice. Target kill, heals 5% HP and SP. Not necessarily with the ego, but it's doubled if it heals with the ego. Welcome back, Impending Day. And unit loss SP, heal 4 plus some, burn and bleed on all enemies divided by 10 SP, max 10 rounded down. Definitely a very interesting effect. Because this is like it's a 10 up front, and then it's, what, like 12, 80 SP for a few turns. Heals SP for allies with the least SP as well. That's nice. On kill, allies gain 1 rhythm next turn. Yeah, its attack weight. Does the most damage to the main target, though. Reason 4 times per turn. So it can be a 7 coiner if you just have enough HP. It's not a chance-based one, so that's good. 1 burn, 1 bleed. Randomly gains 1 to 3 rhythm next turn, once per coin. I guess it's just, yeah, I get it's once per coin. That seems weird, but it's mostly just because it's an AoE, and that's just its way of being like a once per AoE. Could have just been on use, but I guess they wanted on hit for the thematic stuff, and I guess theoretically it could be evaded. I don't know, and then corrosion, indiscriminate, random, clash power, yeah. Allies gain 2 rhythm, 1 wrath damage, 1 less damage, 1 heavy, 1 fragile next turn. Sure. Wrath, Lust, and Envy is an interesting set. Yeah, reuse coin. If the sum of each lost skill is less than 50. Huh. So you've hit 20 like several times, you can't get the full thing, so it's kind of just random if you get that final one. Interesting. A little bit of randomness in this one. And yeah, it's same sort of rhythm gain effect. Okay, it definitely seems interesting. We'll see how that goes. Now, though, how am I doing on these? Not great. Hype. I don't think I've got any level boost tickets. Yeah, no. Oh well. What do I have from her? That's enough. Use all 419, or not all of them, but use 419 silver tickets for your sake, Mer. We'll do you first, since Mer's is the captain. It was an unremarkable sort of day, if one could call it that, when even the agents of the upper layer had been mobilized to suppress and return El Rione to its containment unit. Is it El Rione or El Rione? I've always said El Rione. I'm not sure. It's one of those ones where its name is like... It's kind of like an anglicized version of a German word, is it? Like, it's not quite the same as the original one, so I'm not fully sure. I haven't done enough research into it. With the control team left hollowed out, the child had been saddled with managing the Admiralties assigned to the department. You get everyone? Yep. PMPC. As soon as you stepped into the old lady's containment unit, the child sat reclining in a chair and crossed her legs, unfiltered complaints spilling out of her mouth. So old lady's in a chair of her own, then? All day long, she'd be tasked with doing managerial work on our unit to extract its ego gear. And she failed. That's 3 times already, 7 actually with the manager's yardstick, that she'd allowed Alriana to escape under her watch today alone. Yeah, Alriana is the one where you need to get a neutral result, otherwise it'll breach, so I'm not surprised. It means Ryoshu was either doing too good of a job or too bad of a job. I guess we'll see. I don't see how that pink mongrel ring containment is my fault. It's that dimwit of a manager. Must have bled out every scrap of luck because he couldn't resist rubbernecking at the thing every now and then. Rione. That sorrowful child slips out of containment when the work result is bad, and just as readily on a good. It's never content to remain confined. It would much rather wander outside, suffusing the company's musty corridors with the fresh scent of the forest. Haha. Things must look quite unfair from where it stands. And, of course, from where the manager stands, too. Tch, no flower viewing today. Just stuck hearing the old hag droning on all day. It's become pitch black, this room. The curse must have seeped into the walls. Been a while since I last did some work here. Yeah, the solitude built up. Dearie, dearie, would you like to hear a story? Pfft, whatever. Tales crooned like lullabies, poems too abstract to grasp, ghost stories that make the hair on the back of the neck stand straight up. from stories known to all to the ones known to none. The old lady knows every tale ever told, every single story in existence, every nursery rhyme written for children. It goes without saying that her troves of tales also include the secret stories of the other abnormalities. Just a coincidence, perhaps. Or is it inevitability? For the first time, the old lady brought up a tale of an abnormality, an entity that the child knew all too well. Oh, Ryune, the lovely one, a doll who yearned to be human. Huh? Know something about that rabid thing? A flicker of surprise crosses the child's face as she voices her question, but the answer, in all likelihood, won't be hers to hear. The old lady, you see, doesn't speak to you. She merely speaks, spinning her tales and making her loneliness known. Its eyes were full of soul, and it was adored by people. But every genesis of the spring, wow, is to be followed by the passing of the autumn. The old lady does no such thing as asking. She doesn't respond either. The words that come out of her mouth are not for conversation. Which is why, for all the stories she tells, she can never manage to fill the void of her loneliness. One day, the doll was abandoned in a dark forest. Its eyes were stolen by crows lusting for glitter, while its mind, life, and heart slowly withered away. Part by part, its pretty porcelain body cracked and shattered. Where its eyes once were, only gaping holes were left. And yet, the doll remained standing in the forest. The cracks and openings on the porcelain were instead filled with a growing bouquet of flowers, and fresh petals fluttered down like tears from the empty holes of its eyes. And then, what happened next? Did it hunt down the crow that pecked its eyes out? Did it cut off its wings? The child knew that no answer would be returned, that she would still get to hear the next part of the story, whether or not she invited the old lady to continue. Still, ask she did, as though she were used to such exchanges. Ryune, lacking eyes but all-seeing, a human who yearned to be a doll. Born of soil, and to soil shall it return. The old lady director gazed at the child, a gaze as hollow as that of the Ryune from the story, a black void that seems to meet the child's own eyes. It was almost as though she were interested in hearing what the child would make of the tale. The child's eyebrows cinched together in a scowl. The tale might have found footing had she cared to listen with interest, but this was not for her. She really should have spared herself the trouble of hearing it out, she thought. Lone. Your story is literally otiose, needless, empty. But surely that was not the end of the story for the doll. Perhaps the story hit a bit too close to home, or maybe it reminded the child of a certain someone she only remembered in the foggy fragments of her memories. Either way, a cloying loneliness clung to the child as she stepped out of the containment unit. And who the hell are you? Yep. Oh, I'm Vera from Information. You're that agent who transferred to the middle layer from the safety team, right? Just random, yeah. Makes sense. Ryoshu. Right, Ryoshu. I've heard quite a bit about you. What do you want? I came down because Mr. Isad gave the order for support. There's no one in the control team. Anyhow, I thought I smelled something burning in the lobby and... Yep, I see that you, altered your EU gift into a cigarette. Not an issue, I guess, as long as it's not a fire. What did she alter into a cigarette? I'm trying to tell. I'm trying to think, because, like, there are, like, cigarette-y ego gifts anyways, right? Is it just fourth match flame or something? I don't know. I'll maybe stop by the flustered employee blocking her path. Please, just a moment. Please wait in here until the control team arrives. And why should I do that? You tried the new event? Not yet. Going through the ID stories yet. Now. You missed the announcement, I take it. The Dusk of Amber will begin shortly. And during the Dusk of Amber, the effectiveness of red, that is physical attack, is doubled. Doubled. That multiplier nonsense you people like to play with. Correct. If your ego weapons are both white type, I recommend either switching weapons or leave this to other agents. You're NSFB. Pardon? You're not seeing the full picture. The child brushed past the employee and walked into the corridor with light steps. Look closely, MB. If switching your gear is what allows double the efficiency, all I need to do is use both of my weapons at once instead. Uh, what? I'll show you the collaboration of FAS. Yeah, faint aroma solitude. A gigantic worm burst into the hallway. As the ordeal entity advanced slowly, yet not without momentum, the child raised her crossbow and took aim. The employee, who frantically chased after the child, watched the bolt fly from the crossbow, and in the same breath, the child's revolver fired 6 rounds at the ordeal at a speed too fast for the eye to track. Was that not enough? That's why I told you to either switch weapons or wait! Look, it's not too late to go back and... Well, more shots should do the trick then. Incredible. 1 shot, then 2, then a third. Bolts and bullets rained down on the ordeal until they burst like squashed fruit, and another bolt loosened at point-blank range, punched straight through the largest of them, the DUSK itself. Not a dull end to wrap up a day. Wait, why are you aiming that thing at me? The child perhaps had managed to reshape the loons that latched onto her into an artistry of her own. But she no longer seemed lonely at all as she emptied her gun on the horrified employee. Or is the employee going to be like Queen Bee or something? Oh, we're not going to get any sort of confirmation. Roche is just like, I'm killing you, and then did it. Maybe they were panicking, maybe they were, infested or something. I don't know. Could be anything. Now let's take a look at you. Bolt Solitude, yeah. Ammo can't be gained or lost due to external effects, yeah. And the story's never completes. Yeah, so Solitude is, yeah, sync count at turn end, more sync count turn end, panic. And it's instead just 2 sync count turn end to units without SP. And of course, 10% more damage from Gloom skills. It's just standard enough, like syncing or panic type change. 2 solid to next 2 solid. What's it max at? Okay, no, it's like this. Why is it Arty Solitude inflict trim? Okay, I see. I wasn't reading the full thing. Yeah, it's like the other panic types where it just refreshes instead of it. If they already have Solitude instead of it, it's just a burst and then a burst. So this becomes like a 2 or 3 bursts depending on if the target already has Solitude or not beyond it. Oh, it's an unfocused volley, so I guess it's not going to go off the same person. And yeah, you use Stories to Never Cease if you have 0 bullets when you... After attack end. Yeah, if you got multiple bullets instead, if you get bang bang on a post attack once per turn against low SP or staggered enemies. Kind of similar effect to like Drifting Blade Ryoshu, right? That sort of thing. And yeah, for a bit of owned, 30 plus petals, and yeah, your skill 1 doesn't have any petals though, so that must be a skill 2 thing. Inflict 3, oh no, this inflicts faint aroma, but no petals. Max 30. It doesn't go down over time, it looks like. But if it gets max, then it loses all faint aroma when it gets max, and then 2 tremor burst on self, gloom damage, equal to sinking on self. Okay. Simple enough. Okay, you gain 10 petals from your evade. Did your skill 3 give a bunch of petals? Or was this a give petals? No, yes, you gain petals and you take sinking damage, give petals, give faint aroma. Item Trainer Burst is triggered regardless of the unit. More stuff like this. Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this kind of like passive effects anytime Tremor is triggered regardless of the unit. Because they did this a bunch with like Season 2 Tremor, right? Like, Regret Faust is something similar, Molar Hisong is something similar, just debuffing enemies to get Tremor Bursted regardless of who does it. Or more than, I guess, yeah. And yeah, Magnificent End, you trigger if you got all petals, you spend all of it. Move damage equals sinking on target, Tremor Burst, Faint Aroma. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. She gets a lot of one-sided, additional attacks with Bang Bang with her passive. Okay. Seems interesting. Of course. And it's Maritime. Ordeal food chain identified, yep. Okay. We'll see. The update story is going to talk about the alteration, isn't it? I'm curious to learn more about that. Victim 4 already. Ugh. Oh, yep, there's a clerk that's been queen beed. I had dispatched a clear warning to all relevant personnel. They must steer clear of the abnormalities containment unit while work is in progress, as the biohazardous material the entity secretes could permeate through the barrier. Perhaps it could not be helped, as the authority to physically quarantine a section of the facility lies with the manager. Itchy. Captain, I'm so itchy. The subject complains of the pruritus of her nape for the 27th time. I probably shouldn't scratch the itch, right, Captain? Scratching your skin to address the itchiness will not be a problem. There is no need for you to worry about the bleeding or excoriation of your skin. Ah! Amber of the clerical staff. That is you, correct? Their name is literally Amber. Alright. That's correct. The subject complains of pruritus for the 28th time since the beginning of this interview. Primary memory retention abilities remains in good condition. With that, I record that 10 or more casualties have shown no change in brain activity at 23 hours, 6 minutes, and 21 seconds marked since spore inhalation. Extrapolation, Yeah. Sorry, what are you saying? I figured. Nothing that requires your comprehension. No, I mean, I can't seem to hear you clearly. Ow, my belly hurts. Loss of hearing identified. This is the first recorded instance of such a symptom among the casualties. Hold still. I will use a bioscanner on your abdomen. Is that gonna make whatever this is go away? It will not. Remove your hands from your abdomen. Ah. Larva activity observed at the 23 hours, 7 minutes, and 1 second mark since spore inhalation. This instance occurred 33% earlier compared to the average extrapolated from the pre-existing data's standard normal distribution. Slight palpitation in the ocular lobe area have been observed concurrently. The palpitation is currently traveling to the subject's auditory organ, which leads one to conjecture that it is related to the victim's hearing loss. There's something skittering around in there. The interval its molting process from instar 2 to instar 2 remains the same within the margin of error. Captain, there's this guy hanging out with all the time. Jacob. He was with me when it happened. Is he okay? Okay, in what sense? Sorry, I can't hear you. That's much better. It doesn't hurt as much. Nullification of pain receptions identified. I will now post any subsequent questions in writing. Is he okay, as in, he's not sick, right? I drew an X on paper to relay that the victim that Jacob was indeed not sick. Oh, that's good. I feel funny, like I'm bloated. I wonder if this is Mur being funny and it's like, oh, they're not sick because they're dead. Captain Mercer, what's up with the eagle weapon? Immediate pre-eclosion symptoms identified. Preparing for battle. Oh, that's right. She's so close by. My queen. Yep. It's hatching. Eclosion entity T0452 identified and eliminated. And the subsequent emergence of Amber Ordeal also identified. Yeah, both at once. Unfortunate timing. Eliminated. Reporting test results of conducting an interview near TO450's containment unit. While no variance in interval between contraction and the late stage of infection has been observed, it can be said that the subject perceives the queen at a relatively earlier point. For an observation of note, the entity spoke through the victim immediately before eclosion, suggesting that its capability to seize the victim's nervous system. And, hey, Captain. You know WIH. Another containment breach. Don't fault me, Captain. No matter what I do, whether I do good or bad, it goes bad. It's bad luck, that's what. The difficulty of managing the abnormalities acknowledged. However, continued shirking and the offloading of your suppression responsibilities to other employees is inappropriate. I believe former captains should be held to a higher degree of accountability. Take a good look at these weapons the fool of a manager gave me and say that again. Its creepy face didn't change one bit, no matter how many bullets I blasted into it. I've shared the absurdity of your weapon assignment with Mr. Chassed, but it appears that he has not yet found the time to pay the manager a visit. The manager. The bunch of slackers, all of them. Well, not that I mind. The more the lays about, the more opportunities for art appreciation time I get. The DUSK ordeal is still in progress. Search for other hallways to assist. Your BAH as always, Captain. Welfare team hallways are clear. As for the interview subject's corpse, it'll be cremated alongside victim Jacob's cadaver. Yep. Concluding the interview. He technically didn't lie. What is the meaning of your gaze? Or, you're bearing the gaze? Is it wrath because to kill your worker be with the very weapon extracted from your essence? Or does it look like just another redemption or love from where you stand? I am curious. How does it all appear in your eyes? Does it appear as inscrutable as my gaze is to you? Didn't expect to get sentimental. I will have to check my corrosion rate. However, the first order of business is completing the suppression effort. End of recording. Very interesting. Murr just wants to learn about it. Witness it within his gaze. Okay. How much spore rounds do you start with? 10 base and 6 buckshot. Okay. 2 spore with base, 3 with buckshot. Max is at 15. Yeah, plus 1 burn count for every 5 stack and 1 bind next turn. That's interesting. The spore itself is pretty lame. The main benefits are just you inflict spore on them, then you kill them, and then you get the funny stat effect, right? You don't have buckshot because you do 2 SP and 2 base to gain 1 buckshot. Okay. Reload termination. Yep. Okay, and when targets with spore are killed, gain 1 loyalty pheromone. This passive's always active, and it doesn't seem to require he needs to do it. Yeah, I did get spoiled on the fact that the passive does have flavor text now too. Sure thing. Yeah, loyalty pheromone. Max 3, you gain follow text based on stacks. At 1 stack, you get protection. At 2, you get haste. And 3, you get clash power up. Don't think super crazy, but I think it'll trigger a lot of various other conditionals. So mutations, such change being process. Let's save this on alteration for now. So it's mutating based on the wielder. Not exactly. It wasn't like an active change necessarily. It sounds like it was more so a passive thing. Thumber seems better. I mean, the thing about Thumber is he's not like super crazy on burn teams. I don't know how crazy this guy's gonna be on burn teams, but Thumber is definitely more for Tremor. This guy's also definitely gonna be more of like a wave clearer, right? That sort of thing. He gets a lot of benefits for enemies dying. He's got a bunch of like AoE type stuff. He's not as good when it comes to like single target damage, but it's kind of similar to something like Regret Faust, right? He feels like a modern Regret Faust in terms of how he's designed around just being able to get a bunch of AoE stuff a lot. Double spore for the next turn. Get spore rounds back. Okay. Skill 1 spends 2 base. Inflict 1 pierce didn't hit before use once per... Okay. So just if you use it like after reloading. Warning shot's definitely a fitting name. Ryoshi gets a bunch of attacks turn. Yeah, that does sound funny. They love giving Ryoshu IDs that get like random like one-sided attacks, right? Because it all started with Eurydivier Ryoshu's passive, right? Just for the sloth res, if it targets staggered, she just gets a random skill 1. And then like Drifter Ryoshu has just a random attack she gets each turn, and now Faint Aroma Ryoshu gets a random attack each turn, and even stronger one occasionally, and even stronger one also occasionally. Sure thing. So skill 2. Half damage to sub targets, yeah. Hash preference 1. You're going to deal to every form unbreakable is sure. Long enough for not worrying about bullets, yeah. Since bullets are an infinite resource for the LobCorp IDs. One of your experiment based reload germination. Okay. So if you just kind of awkwardly would get left with 1, I see. You get to reload. That's for specifically base, though, not for the buckshot. But it spends 3 of your buckshot, so you could do like 2 skill 2s before needing to reload. Mm-hmm. 2 fewer consumes the game. Okay, you get a bunch of spore round base for this one, even if you didn't. So you're guaranteed to have... I mean, you'll be guaranteed to have at least 4 before you use this skill, so that should be good. Yeah, because the base, and then a buckshot. More attack weight at that. Yeah, this coin is the... Yeah, so the first 3 coins only hit the main target, and then this one, half damage and sub-targets, but it gets a bunch of AoE, because it's 2 attack weight, additional attack weight of loyalty pheromones. Only 3 attack weight, though. I'm kind of surprised it's capping at 3 for all of these, but I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Yeah, 10 HP healing once per turn with Evade. Up to 25 with max loyalty pheromone. That's not bad. It's an Evade, right? 4 plus 10, yeah. Evades are always good to have. Just much 46 from the attacker. Yeah, so against a target that has a bunch of burn, which is easy enough to manage, it also becomes a 17 rolling evade, which is pretty solid. Pretty nice. I don't think insanity is different, yeah. I guess I theoretically should check your sanity tab. It's unchanged, shocker. I don't think we've gotten a unique sanity tab since what? What was the last unique sanity? I don't even remember. Surely, have we gotten one since Barbarotis? I'm trying to remember. Do you have unique sanity? I don't even remember. I never checked the sanity tab. Okay, yeah, you've got unique sanity. Yeah. You do. I assume you do as well, just logically speaking. I don't know. We don't get a lot of evade IDs. Yeah. Obviously, you know, when we do get evade IDs, it's crazy that they made this guy an evade ID. Like, sure thing. I don't know. But yeah. They've been leaning more into non-clashable defensive skills recently, which is good. I don't think it's good for it to exclusively only be clashable ones. The other ones have their time and place. Bong Bong Orange. Bun Bun Juicy Squeezer Orange. Energy time lead potency. Interesting. I won't worry about the missions too. I'm just going to get into it. Crazy. Like, so even if... Will you see this? God. The idea of, like, the fact that you'd see this even if you're trying to do this before being caught up with the story, because, like, you can do Walp events without needing to, be up to date, right? It'll let you do them so you can, you know, still get the rewards and stuff. It's a good thing he's out of commission here, honestly, though. I think it's just kind of, gonna be awkward. What do I want to do? Something like this, probably? Yeah, that works. That's the order I want. Yeah, syncing stuff, focus on the new ideas, right? That sort of thing. That works. No story? No, there is story. It just didn't ask. Does it only ask if you're not up to date, I suppose? That could be it. Can I get 7 number 3 bolts? Number 3 bolts. Ah, bingo. Be right there. Quit lollygagging and get cracking, lass. We're swamped here. Behold hither, I have displayed a combination of cracks that much resemble a fixer's sigil. Alright. Oh, that's right, enough out of you, you little... Huh? Did you just weave out of my smack? The only worm just where you're not up to date story. Okay. I thought I remembered it doing it, like, regardless of if you were up to date or not, but I'm also probably just misremembering it. I don't know. It's been a while, since it's been almost a year since the last one, since last Walp didn't have a story. Thy patterns have become far too predictable. That's crazy. About 2 days have passed since we wrapped up Operation Spider Pyre. Not very long at all. The LC department was still recovering from the aftermath of the assault, and we were assisting where we could with the restoration efforts. Though, I wasn't sure exactly what we were doing here with the facility management team. I just hardly expect to see you again so soon after that. Some farewell that was. True. I think it said Alyssa's, like, on break recovering, right? But Hohenheim went straight back to work. Something like that. Well, it can't be helped that the entire facility management team is currently on PTO. We've been loaned some LCCA personnel for the repair project, so let us make do with them. I'm surprised they haven't all been dragged back to office already. Well, with everything that's happened. Also, more LCCA is funny. Will we see Kaiman again? Maybe. PTO is their right and therefore must be honored. You can't just cancel their time off after signing and approving their requests. Then why don't we just wait till they get back from their vacays? Come on, we were busting our butts out there just a few days ago. How about giving us some time off, too? Now with multiple containment units still blasted wide open, there's no telling when the abnormalities reduced to their ovate forms will return, you understand. Should we face such a case with the containment units ready to operate, the entities will be wreaking havoc on our facility yet again, and we will all be dragged back to work, like it or not. I would much rather not deal with another containment breach incident so soon, especially when it's almost certain they will be laying waste to the boxes of snacks we've prepared specifically for your return. How many boxes have you got? 3. All of them 48 by 38 by 43 centimeters in dimension, the largest standard size box we have. We're in. Oi, who do you think you are to tell us what to do? Still, there was no point in arguing with Honheim whether he was right. They needed to needlessly track out restoring the facility and let those abnormalities loose again. Besides, Gregor was still down for the count. Alrighty, boys and girls, I got you some cool drinks, so take a quick breather. You're full of beans today, ain't ya? Full of beans. Hey, what's not to like? They've got snacks I've never even laid my eyes on before. Ooh, and come here, look at this. Ta-da! Look what I found, everyone. Roja declared as she triumphantly held up a small can. What is that? I don't think I've seen that before either. Seriously? You never had one of these when you were little? Oh, wait, do they not sell this stuff in the nests? Oh, I know this. It's that shaky than drinky thing, isn't it? Yeah, I knew you'd recognize this, Heath. Ha! You're all like bloody Cheddar Townies, you know that? Right, take a gander at this. That can's gonna blow up in your face if you keep shaking it like... I know what I'm doing, Bodhi. Crazy. Look, I uncapped this thing and... try a sip. Eh? It's turned into jelly. Haley moved from center to center, calmly handing them each a can of well-shaken drinks. And the sinners all responded with varying degrees of astonishment. Some of them even given the can a double take. This is a condensation of carbonation itself, its structure compressed into pudding-like forms. Wowzers, it's like they took the juice of a fruit and trapped it in tiny bubbles. It's slightly too sweet, but it's tasty nonetheless. Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. Say, where'd you get these? I couldn't get my hands on this stuff recently. As we researchers are all rather positively obsessed with new technology, that fixation translates quite directly to addiction to unique products like these. The pleasant flavor that gives us a nice extra dose of motivation, of course. Sometimes not to store them in expensive stasis preservation boxes, just in case we end up craving them in the future, sure. According to our findings, the sudden paucity of this product in the mass market was caused primarily by significant production costs of the manufacturing plant. So the cause of demand, it seemed that the maintenance costs were far too expensive to maintain as a large-scale operation. And we're gonna learn that these were produced in LobCorp itself from the ordeals or something, huh? And you're just giving these rarities to us? Blimey, that's actually the nicest thing someone's done for us in a while. Oh. This was Martin's favorite, wasn't it? That's gonna be what the twist? Oh, you ain't half bad, Specs. You're going up in my list. Yeah. I immediately could tell. God. No need to read personability of my character and my sound assistant. They're from Martin's stash anyway. With an out owner claiming them, they are bound to end up collecting dust in a corner of some lost and found box. If spirits truly do exist, and if Martin has indeed chosen to haunt this very spot, I'm certain he would chime in to say, that seems like a reasonable thing to do, boss. Oh. Once again, he wasn't wrong, but his palpable lack of concern for the feelings of those around him seems to suggest there was indeed no reason for us to reconsider his personality. Bloody hell, mate, you could have led with that. Oh, I think some of that went down the wrong pipe. Of course, foods out there look pretty. I agree with Honheim. After all, what use are these delicacies if we just let them sit and spoil? Is that one of the Sinclair sprites? I'm trying to remember. That's so very weird Heath sprite. I don't remember that one. Totes! We can't, like, let these tasties go bad, right? Is it that good? Oh, they can't taste it. Tragic. It is good, but not that good, Executive Manager. She's simply a glutton with no regard for flavor. You know, I do feel pretty bad for Tate every time we get a chance to eat something good, but with being unable to eat and all. I don't think it's something to feel bad about. Still, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. Muttering, I looked up to stare at Roja. Oh yeah, that really hit the spot. Somebody stop me, 'cause I can't. Downing her third can of the drink. That reminds me. I once cobbled together a gustation simulator as a hobby project. Gustation simulator? Well, as you must all be aware, energy gel is the most efficient form of sustenance. It is tiny, highly caloric, yet unfortunately makes for quite a flavorless, gustery experience. So I devised a gadget that, once a food is placed and scanned in its flavor analyzer, it transfers its exact flavor profile directly to its wearer. It is rather simple to equip and operate too. Simply wearing your wrist should transfer the flavor information to the wearer, but, I must have misplaced it. I gotta say, that sounds pretty revolutionary for how dismissive you are about it, like it's some kind of toy you bashed together. The joy would come from the invention and demonstration of the technology itself. Indeed, my fellows would, following the regular Illuminators conferences, cast their erstwhile prime inventions in boxes of miscellanea. Decent guess, but you're half wrong. I indeed intend to distribute to my team, were it not for that single fault. What is that single fault, you ask? When it weren't for too long, the device would start recognizing even the mere act of breathing as eating. Every breath I took brought the risk of thick, cloying cheesecake flavor under my tongue. It might be a rather scrumptious delicacy, but when it taints the very air I breathe, it inspires nothing but nausea in my mouth. And thanks to that, I ended up uncontrollably emptying the contents of my stomach on the floor. Ew. But perhaps that should not be a project for subjects who are not coerced to breathe by their autonomic nervous system, such as your manager. Ooh, does it mean I'll finally get to partake in Roja's food critiquing session during our next team dinner? By the looks of it, they seem quite excited about that prospect. Very well, I'll begin my search thenceforth. Then, beep, beep. They installed the Walpurgis alarm in the actual LCE facility, too. Were these alarms connected to this facility as well? Indeed. Every location related to Limbus company is equipped with a relevant device that detect the arrival of Walpurgis Nights. We're gonna end up, like, going to an actual, like, Hamam Pong Pong location, and, like, it's gonna reveal it was actually a front for Limbus company, and then the Walpurgis lights are gonna turn on. Once familiar green light and the accompanying alarm began to blare, Faust, who had been wordlessly leaning against the wall with their arms crossed, slowly shuffled toward us. I also think it's funny how the two sinners who are getting IDs haven't said a single word yet, have they? Pretty hype. She seemed unusually exhausted, so I thought I might ask her if everything was okay, but, I guess this is the first time Faust has said anything since we know she had that, rough Gesellschaft meeting. Have the corridor repairs progressed enough for us to explore this scenario, Hohenheim? Of course, contrary to someone who insists that its frequency is not something we can reliably predict, I had intuited that this odd phenomenon with a taste for green illuminations would be arriving soon, and made the corridor repairs one of our high priority goals. I see. Thank you. Huh? Maybe now is a bad time. That response was indeed most unexpected. Clearly breaks the expected behavior patterns. Dante, let us enter without delay. Hohenheim is freaked out. He's like, she didn't use this opportunity to downplay my actions. What is going on? Huh? Well, okay. Sounds like Hohenheim muttered something at us at the last second, but his voice was soon devoured by the sinners and the raucous chatter, accompanied by the slurping noise of drinks guzzled down. B.A.O. Depressing. Yeah. Giuseppe's floor has always had this weird, like, stony look to it. It's very interesting, I guess, Giuseppe's department. Yeah, let's see, we're in the welfare team section. Maybe it's blue all over because that's their main color? This place is pretty big, too. Not as big as Central Command, but the place has got pretty high ceiling. Couldn't they have changed the actual colors or interior design of this hole? Different light, sure, but ain't all these hallways samey looking? It's starting to get a bit old for me. Heathcliff learns about asset reuse. I think consistency is a good thing, actually. The library always throws something new at us every visit, and there were times when we got killed before we even knew what was going on. Forsooth, if our lives be forfeit at the same time, would thou not say they are best spent on new experiences such as witnessing a color with their own eyes? Yeah, you were hyped over that blue reverb encounter, huh? Hasn't that bloke's blue side sliced and diced you more than a dozen times, lass? Don't tell me you enjoyed every single one of them. Hey, I appreciate we wouldn't consider lives to be forfeit all the same. More death equals more pain for me, you know. Well, despite their relative predictability, it is inevitable to underestimate the former L Corp's ordeals, as they are also characterized by progressively intensifying danger levels. Danger levels? Indeed, the first scenarios began with the dawn, then it was the noon, followed by the suppression of a VAV risk abnormality. It is obvious that the ordeal following our pre-encounter would pose a greater level of danger than the ordeal of noon. Ah, you must be inferring to that incrementally progressive pressure we had discussed prior, Miss Faust. Yes, following that deductive mode of thinking, this ordeal must be an ordeal of dusk. Blimey, you certainly got a talent for spectacle. Say, you ain't in the habit of stalling, waiting for dramatic moments to drop important information, are you? Faust does not care for such useless, vain theatricalities. What? I was clearly joking last. You didn't have to be so cross about it. I should probably sort of a few doubts for Faust to go over in our next consultation session. We better focus on your deal at hand first. Faust, mind shedding some more light on it? The time will be dusk, and the color is amber. The food chain is said to appear in this ordeal. The food chain is in that whole natural cycle of eat and be eaten? Why? Why's it gotta be bugs again? I was still mulling over what Faust had just said. Roja, who seemed to have noticed something squirming in the distance, burst into a disgusted, irritated rant. Ever since last time, it's been one thing after another just trying to gross me out. Is this all supposed to be one of the goals of this so-called scenario setup? While still holding the can of jelly drink in her hand. Oh, there it goes. I've completely lost my appetite. Either finish chewing before you speak or wipe that resolved grimace off your face if you insist on shoving the jelly down regardless of the creature's sight. One lapse in decorum at a time. Fortunately, Executive Manager, the entity's movement speed appears slow. A meticulous distance measuring coupled with a methodical stratagem should allow us to neutralize the target without issue. Right, there's no need to rush. If we can just make sure to move faster than those things do, we should be fine. Okay, fight time it is. We'll see how this goes. Perfect food. Bong orange. I'm curious how they're going to, I'm curious about how they're going to incorporate Dusk into here, because the main gimmick about Dusk in LobCorp itself is if you encounter it head-on, you, like, get eaten and die pretty quickly. You really need to attack it from the back to have any chance. So I wonder how they're going to incorporate that sort of thing in here. I don't know. Yeah, 10 turns, 21. Is it going to be you need to kill each of them every turn to get the maximum here? Preparing herd migration. Ooh. Yeah. Another thing these guys, what the Dawns did in LobCorp was they'd wait a little bit and then they'd burrow away. So I assume herd migration is some sort of variant on that. In 1 to 3, preparing herd migration. 0, use herd migration, use attack from staring sectors. Bump on the battlefield, passive does not activate. I think it's the target, the damage the target is weak or fatal to. It's like bind, sure. Bung kills an orange. Okay, so we can kill them and we can get some healing from it. Eat them up. No observation log. Checks out. Find their call Bong Bong. Yeah. It is like, it's very funny because it is actually what they were called in the Legacy version, right? In Legacy LobCorp, they were called Bong Bong Orange. The name was like dropped when they moved on to like normal LobCorp, but they do, funnily enough, predate like the Bong Bong we all know and love. Strange as that is to think about. Can't tell what you guys are weak to. Probably like Wrath, Lust, and then like what, like Sloth, Gloom, something like that. That would check out. Guess we will see. Actually, if I play this better, I can do something like that. Yeah, cool. That'll work. You clash those. I probably want to. Yeah, I was thinking if I really wanted to or not. I really should. I'll have you. We'll double down that guy. That's probably smart. Okay, go for that. See how this goes. Oh, I didn't look at the unique status effect for Merceau, the team leader status. Oh well. Bang bang. Mert really doesn't need to clash twice since he's the team captain. Definitely Wrath Week. Also Pierce Week. I probably should have actually. I don't know. I probably should have used that defense skill on you too. Gotten you to negative state. That probably been worthwhile. Do you kill here? No. 1 HP, really? That's unfortunate. Well, I might not get the best possible timing if this is anything like the original one. You're just evading here. Herd migration. Let's see, how does this work? Expires, herd relocation. So I'm gonna escape from the encounter. Okay, so you're just gonna get out of here. Interesting. So maybe I'm not done for yet. I mean, 4 more came. I'm not sure if it's always 4, if it would have been 5 if there was enough room for it. How you doing on ammo? You're doing fine. You already had 2 loyalty pheromones, which is very nice. You've got that. Let's see. Why does the passive specify if it's in rifle or if it's in alteration mode? Is it just what you used most recently? What is this fact? This isn't listed in the passive anywhere. Why is this stated here? I don't know. Let's see. Will of your team captain, gain additional skill 3, yeah. Increase burn, bleed, rupture, sinking. Spend damage, do more damage. Unkill ego resources, yeah. Remaining sets like to split all enemies. Okay, sure. Who can deal with that reliably, I guess? We could do something like that. That should work. Maybe I also just have you offset that. And then just have everything else hit those guys? Yeah, that works. And that guy might live. Oh well. I want to make sure that guy doesn't run away. I think that's probably more important than killing everything. It's just making sure none of them get to run away. Buckshot. We're at max pheromones now. Very easy to build it up in a fight like this. Shocker, I know. Cool. I think I just need to have Sinclair defend next, though. So I guess, no matter what, is Dusk gonna spawn turn 6? Makes enough sense. You're just gonna keep on killing people. Which is cool. Okay, try something like that. See how that goes. Nice. Gaining the additional attack weight. Bang, bang, finish it off. Yeah, it's a good synergy here, just having Ryoshu to make sure that these guys get finished off. Okay, we can start actually building up count on Sinclair now, so that's good. Less than ideal turn. Oh well, everyone should be mostly ready for antics now. And none of them are able to flee here. I can also ego up. Crushbound's definitely quite overkill, but it's also funny, so I'll go for it. That's what matters in the end. Who are you going? Oh, you're going for it. Okay. That makes sense. I do not need to be using Crushbound here. I really don't. I mean, might as well, though. Actually, I should have popped Regret. Ooh, that's true. I'll pop Regret next turn. Just get that additional coin power up for the funnies. How many coins do you think we're getting off of this? I think we're supposed to save for the dust thing. It probably would, but I just want to make sure these things die. And we gain ego resources whenever we kill with Mur, so just guaranteeing he kills a bunch of them is just good for us. I do really need to get some sanity for the other guys, though. There's Dusk. Are the rest of the enemies too? Yes, it is. 2000 HP. Yeah, you're Bun Bun. I figured as much. Hit from -3 in convertible coins, dex to regular coins. So it's, yeah, super weak to ammo. Yeah, Bun Buns is the new name. These things were... I think they were just called like Big Worm or something in Legacy, if I'm not mistaken. These were Big Worm, and then like the actual Amber Midnight was Giant Worm or something. It was super unspecific like that. Use herd migration, yeah. Overweight smoke. 4 times less of the unit retreats. This unit all available one one spawn of the unit. Return to the battlefield. Lingering through. Unkill some bong bongs. Interesting. I certainly feel like I should really just kill this thing, though. Field Tusk will be able to deal with a bunch of these guys. Honestly, could just let you be on that duty. I want to clash with ammo, though, don't I? Yeah. I need to get some sanity up on these guys, too. Okay, Sinclair's poise is set, though, yeah. It's kind of an issue here because I can't really clash these guys because their decent chance Mur just kills them with the field test. I could just not use it this turn then. Actually, yeah. Make this just more of like a clash-centric turn just to get some of your guys' sanities up. Mainly you three. Can you clash anything this turn? You can clash that. That works. Hmm. You're gonna get hit a bunch. Do I want you getting hit? Not really. Very overkill, but this is Sandy turn. If we make sure all these things are out of the way, then we won't need to worry about them as well, which is just beneficial, right? Actually, I say that, but I don't even know if regret kills here. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Actually, they are wrath resistant, which is interesting. You almost died a burn. Oh, thank you, Ryoshu. Forgot about that. Sure is nice to meet you. We love sanity. I guess that thing doesn't die. That's fine. I don't think that black box was supposed to be there. That was some oversight. I got stories I never see. They're almost have enough petals here. New. Oh, it's just new skills. Yeah, you're gonna die here. I don't need to worry about you. Doesn't mean you can't use Gregor Solomon for this fight. Truly tragic. The one I want you to clash more. Do you favor the other one? I just want to do this one. Yeah, okay. Any other egos worth popping here? If I want to get syncing up, I could like Rhyme Shank. Let me check this to make sure I understand this correctly. Yeah, this is fine. It's fine. Well, we're actually in Corrode. Once per fight, Rhodion's got like kind of like a stagger unrelent or a Sandy unrelenting. Like the first time she would get brought down to -45 due to external effects such as ego, she only gets brought down to -44 and it's fine for a turn. And because I'm overclocking it myself and not letting it actually corrode, it still targets correctly, right? That's fine. It happens. I'm not too concerned. We can have Sinclair ego. Bonk. Whatever. That doesn't make too big of a difference here. I'm curious how the hard mode's gonna be. It wasn't as complicated as I had thought. Eyes forward. The largest hostile remains standing. Do not drive your guard until it is eliminated. Well, just keep ahead of that plotting freak of a turtle, and we're sorted. Ain't as if the guy's spitting venom that eats you to the bone. Besides, if you're that dangerous, Clockhead wouldn't have shoved the rest of them off to the lobby for a breather, yeah? Yet should it be allowed to let but a single blow, thou shalt be crunched betwixt its jaws in dreadful haste. Young Merceau, too, was consigned to such a fate. Got eaten alive? Height. I only asked him to slow down so he could proceed more safely. Didn't think it would turn out like that. I feel so bad. I too found myself on the verge of becoming prey to it, but Merceau's unhesitating interposition spared me that outcome. I am indeed indebted to him. That's a fire broke running round. This place is a real sod, too. Chazed, was it? Keep nattering while we were busy scrapping, and now that it's over, he's switched the radio off just to sort himself a coffee. Maybe it's a way of saying the best way of a perk for employees is neglect. Haha. Excuse me, less talking and more helping, do you mind? I know we all think it's an easy fight, but that thing is absolutely terrible, and I have no idea how much more we have to throw at it to kill. Huh? Irritated buttering spilling into motion, Ishmael swung her weapon through the air hard against the gigantic bug's carapace. As though that had just been the blow needed to end it, the creature split into pieces, its bulk crashing to the floor in chunks. And with that, the bulbous and gorge orange pustule on the insect's back burst with a sticky, wet pop, spraying contents all over Ishmael. Oh yeah, and we get to see a better view of Chised's department headroom. Yeah, it's always been a very interesting one. Same with Gabura's, because it's got kind of the two floors, and we can see here that it's kind of like a sea flue, like glass, like ice, like water type of look to it. I mean, also the weird, like, Avno containment units in the background. First green and now orange. You've got a knack for getting sprayed. Are you okay, Ishi? No, just stay there. This is nothing. I've been splashed with the far worst out at sea. Yeah, you got stuck in the whale that devours you, and then you got saved. Wait a minute, this somehow smells familiar. Oh, that look. What was that? For a second, her face brightened, just to scrunch up into a grimace. Oi, what's wrong? Ease up, Heath. Some of that stuff even got into her mouth. Just think how awful that must feel. Taste, I mean. You probably can't even put into words. Ugh. No. Someone get over here and give it a taste. What makes you think we'd fancy a taste of that nasty goo? No, that's not it. I'm not being weird or anything. It's just shocking. Shockingly rank, is it? You're gonna croak from it. We're not daft enough to queue up and join you, yeah? If you keep kicking it like that. Ah, darn it! Heathcliff went abruptly quiet as well. I've tasted this before. What? About an hour back. I found odd to skirt yonder and thought to retrieve it. Isan slipped gently between Heathcliff's furrowed stare and Ishmael's resolute nod. Resting within his hands were sheets of paper. One was a garish flyer featuring a mascot raising a soda can with an exaggerated smile. And there was a book that seemed to list up how to use tips for some sort of device. ICC3FLO Bun Bun Juicy Squeezer Orange Instruction Manual. Table of contents: breeding and feeding, exterior care based vesicle harvest, liquid extraction and storage procedures. So that means. No, nah, it can't be. It can't. The flyer! Yeah, what's the flyer say? Go on. Shake a shake, zing a zing. New launch, dancing bun bun orange flavor, it says. We've seen the can on that flyer before. The same can that's still within our line of sight. The same can that Roja's holding in her right hand. The container of Bun Bun's so-called vesticles. Or pulp. No, 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 no! That can't be right! That can't be right! Can't be... Roja! We watch Roja unravel, eyes quaking as though she muttered herself. The fact I made her crow in the fight is very thematically fitting here, huh? The next instant, the world went dark as though the candle that had been lighting our path was snuffed out. We found ourselves back in a familiar place. Ah, you're back. Just in time. Manager, I found the gestation simulator for you. Powered back to full, along with some minor modifications. Give you an anatomical limitation that keeps mastication off the list of your physical abilities. Before we proceed, care to explain the cause of this collective display of nausea? I think I'll pass. No, it can't be right. It can't be true. It can't. To tell me it's not. It's not possible. Someone seems to have completely lost her senses. Was the ordeal more challenging than expected? The door itself was fine. It's just that we had another ordeal we had to. When time permits, I'll need to research and develop an interpretive device for that clockwork TikTok. This mode of communication is certainly less than inefficient. In any case, I took the liberty of installing the dancing bun bun beverage flavor you requested in the simulator. Try activating the function and see whether you are able to taste it. No thanks. You're shaking your head. Is that a sign of refusal? Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, guys. Maybe this will be the only time. The absence of mouth feels like a blessing. Incredible. That was a good one. Yeah, we killed all of them. None of them fled. AU? It's not all Reune unless it's like weirdly being abbreviated. I don't know. Maybe it's like another unit or something. I don't know. That was a good one. Did I get everything from that? Oh. Huh. Yeah, I should have figured. I should have read these beforehand, then I wouldn't have done it, but, well, that'll be easy enough to do. And then hard will be more stuff. I'm not going to be too worried about doing that now, though. Yeah, that's probably my favorite of the Walp event so far. In general, I'm not, like, super big on the Walp stories, because they're kind of a weird, like... They're a very weird position where I feel like they didn't have much to say beyond, oh, look at this thing from previous games. But this one actually, like, definitely expanded a lot on it, while also making it pretty funny, and still tying it into the main story in a way where it's not super important, but still cool to see. Very funny that, it was from Martin's storage, huh? That was good. New units seem like fun. I guess we'll have to see. Let me look at the new fusion gifts, or at least, or not the new fusion, the new EO gifts. They're pretty similar to answers, yeah. Oh, this is the Megahertz EO gift. Oh, this is Beak. Okay, these two are definitely just the ego gifts for the respective Abnos that are currently wearing it. This is a fusion. What is this a fusion of? I don't know. Is it these two? It might be these two. This is like something related to Harmony. Some like flowers or something. Oh, another fusion. There's multiple fusions here. Choice still warm coffee. Okay, there's a Chesed choice here. Interesting that it tells us that's where you get it. Oh, is this one you can only get from the choice? Maybe this is one that, like, you physically can't get at the shop or anything. Maybe you can only get it from choice or something. That's new, I think. I don't know if there's any unlock conditions that say they're from a choice. Oh, it's only the cursed ones. Hmm. So yeah, that probably means you can only get this. Yeah. Probably means you can only get this one from a choice and you can't get it from a shop, like the cursed ego gifts. That's cool. Yeah, floor 10's out now, so that's cool. I'll probably mess around with that a bit. Maybe I'll wait till next week, though. I'll see. Do you think I'll probably end that there, though? Good event. We love Bong Bong Orange. And I had good enough wall block, right? If I wanted to, I could do another 50 pulls and then get either set an outs or a lay hang for the bit. I'm not sure. But anyways, I think that will be the end of the stream. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.